If your nib's too slow and your ink won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to help you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey.
Peace and love. What is up,
Hey,
my
Larry.
main folks? Yes, sir. Hey, hi.
Hi.
Finally, we're finally doing something different here. We're going to get a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's always about pens, right? Everybody's doing pens. But Tony and I were talking about this, and nobody's been doing pen pals or lettering. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the wild side and talk about letters, handwritten letters, why handwritten letters versus personalized emails. Then we can talk about pens and inks and papers and what does what and what works with what. So Tony, tag, you're it.
I gotta ask.
Hey, how about that?
I gotta ask first, Dolores, is that a view out your window there?
That was out my son's front porch during the spring. He lives in Arizona.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Trees.
Well, that is
I
pretty.
had those trees.
All right, Tony, take it away, my man.
Well, hey, I want to welcome all of you that just joined us, and here comes some more. Mavis, hi, Mavis. Welcome. I wanted to.
Hey, James. Hey, Dan. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm full.
There we go. Here we go. How about this? We knew what's happening there. Is that Mark?
Yeah, hey guys.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Mark, my man.
All right.
Mark, look here. Mark made it. He made
What's
it to
up?
the cruise ship. Yeah, where's little Frankie, baby?
There you go.
Hey
Well,
guys. Hey,
Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm going to have to, in about 15 minutes, I'm going to have to slip out for about 10 minutes. I'll be right back on, okay?
That's cool.
Okay, no problem, Dan.
No problem, Dan.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Tony. And Tony.
Well, I kind of what I wanted to say was that Larry and I have been pen pals for a while now, and one of the things that as of the few of you that I've written letters to, Mavis knows that I enjoy writing, and I told Larry, I said, we ought to do like a little meetup and talk about letter writing, because we got these pens, we got these inks, we got this paper. What are we doing with our pens? I mean, when I first got into fountain pens, the first thing I asked everyone, I said, what the heck are we going to do with these pens? I mean, what am I going to write? No one writes anymore. And so, yeah, I can write a grocery list. We can write notes down, but I'm buying a lot of pens. I've purchased a lot of pens. And so I said, well, I got to do something with these pens. And I've always loved to write. So I said, Larry, let's talk about correspondence and letter writing, because that's one of the ways we get actually to use these pens. That's really my passion, is the writing. It isn't just the pen. I mean, if you just give me a pen with no ink in it, it's nice to hold, but if I can't put it on paper and make it work, use it as a tool to communicate, then it really it's just another piece of metal or resin. So that's kind of why I wanted to get this conversation going, and maybe try to encourage people to do some more letter writing, because I think it's a lost art, in fact.
Folks, let me explain to you. When I put this group up many moons ago, I felt it was important, for main reason, for people to actually write letters versus getting on your computer and doing an email. That's not very personal. It's more personal when you take the time, get a pen, paper, and write. And if you don't have a pen, hey, you can still write. Crayon, pencil, whatever you have, write a letter, more personal, and connect with whoever your pen pal is. This way, you're going to meet other people, get to know other people, and eventually you're going to bond with other people. You'll know their likes and dislikes. Now, sometimes you're not going to hit it off, with all your pen pals. I had one pen pal. Are you ready for this one? I'll share. No names, but I'll share. He was a priest. All right. So we got talking, and honestly, I don't know what to talk about. He was into gourmet cooking. He was into gourmet cooking and traveling and gourmet cooking. So, okay, so I did nothing but gourmet cooking. Traveling was cool. So he just finally dumped me because I was boring. You know, I did try. I did try everything I could think of. Well, I went to St. Mary's Catholic School. I was an altar boy. I was this and that. I talk about music. I talk about growing up in the 50s and 60s and bands and stuff. And it just wasn't connecting with him. So he just, and done. So I think I started out with 50 or 60 people from all over the world. And for whatever reason, they just, some of them stopped. But then now I'm so busy doing other things now that I don't have time to have 50 or 60 pen pals anymore, because you know when I'm doing reviews, it takes a lot of work. You just don't do a review in 20-30 minutes. I got to do the history and all that good stuff and kind of connect everybody and put all the pieces together. And then I'll get with Mr. Announcer and we'll sit down, we'll go over it, and we'll do a few shoots, and then we'll actually do a review. And then he's got to do the editing, but then I sit down with him sometimes, and this is what I want. I don't want this. Put this in there. Don't put that in there. That's too much of this. Take it out. Well, hello, Frank. Or Frank will get all agitated and get that out of there. Yes, sir, Frank. Yes, sir, Frank. Yep. You know how he is, Mark. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so got to do what the boss says, you know. Lord have mercy, he get all chapped. But anyway, back to the pen pal. So that was the reason I was doing that. Tony, your input.
Oh, no, I agree with you, Larry. You know, it doesn't matter. I know Mavis, for one, you know, there are some of my pen pals that are having health issues, whether it be with hands, they break their hand, they have a whatever, they can't, you know, it isn't, pen paling doesn't necessarily have to involve a pen. It's about corresponding with people. Obviously, we all love pens here. I gotta believe every one of us here own fountain pens and enjoy them. So that just happens to be the method that I like to correspond with. But you know, you're not going to hit it off with everybody. But just as if you were in real life, you walk up and you meet people. Sometimes you have a connection. But ultimately, there's an opportunity there to make a connection with someone, and just, if nothing else, just to let them know that, hey, you're in my thoughts for the next hour. I've been, you know, I want to share a part of my life with you, and it doesn't have to be detailed. It doesn't have to be in depth, but it's just an opportunity to really get to know other people that you would normally not be able to meet.
Right, right. So yeah, so back to lettering, you're going to find pen pals that you may be writing 2 or 3 months, and then you may not hear nothing from them.
True.
And you're wondering what happened. So you might want to put them on the back burner or give them a chance, because we don't know what's going on the other end.
Right.
And then there's some people that just are not going to write you back. So what you could do is just send them a little note, just see how they're doing, blah, 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 and that's it.
Yeah.
And then just move on. So what I usually do, I have a file that I keep current, and then the ones that are not current, and the ones that haven't written me within a year, they're pretty much toast. So
right.
I'm not going to hear from them. Like
you said, Larry, I think, you know, we all have to, you know, things that come up in life for whatever reason that we're not able to spend time in writing. Hello, everybody. That we're not able to write. And, you know, one of the things, this pandemic has really created a situation where we're all housebound and we have a little more time. I'm working from home. I know that you know, Frank works from home, and I know some other folks that are homebound that are doing their job from home. So I don't have commute time to drive to work and back. That's extra time that I would now have free to do whatever else I want to do. And writing letters are one of those things. So I'd like to open up, you know, I've been doing a lot of talking. Larry, we both have been talking. If anyone wants to jump in and kind of give their opinions about handwriting. Marie, I know you're one of my pen pals, Marie. It's nice to see you finally. It's a pleasure to see you.
Same here.
And if you like, Mavis is another one. Mavis, and actually Mavis's daughter is one of my pen pals. So she's got a whole family of writing that correspond, which is wonderful. And so I know Mark and Frank, but we don't write letters yet. I may need to write you a letter, Frank, just to tell you how good you look with those glasses.
He wants a pen. Better
Sounds
watch it,
good.
Frank.
That's right. That's
He's gonna
right.
hit you up, brother.
Right. And I recall Norm. Norm, you from the last Zoom meetup. I didn't know. Do you do some correspondence, Norm?
Yeah, with me.
Yeah, hi Tony. I've actually, after your last Zoom meeting with Larry, I've actually written a letter to you, which I'll drop in the post today.
Thank you so very much. I look forward to that.
Thank you. Correspondence seems to take about a month these days to get between Australia and America. So don't hold your breath, but it is on your way to you. Yeah.
I have probably about 5 or 6 Australian pen pals, so I'm used to that time frame.
Yeah, no, thank you. And look, the other thing that I'll say after you comment about the whole COVID thing is that I've had some pen friends that, like me, we're locked down and feel the urge to write, and I've had other people that say, because of the lockdown, I just haven't been in the mood.
Right.
So I'm finding that people sort of are polarised in terms of what they want and how they deal with it.
Real quick, let me touch with James real quick. James, you want to pull up your arm, see what he's going through?
Oh, goodness gracious.
The other day, he had it all bandaged up to here, but James, tell him what's going on with you right now, buddy.
Well, I wanted, Tony wrote me a letter, a long time ago, about last year, and I couldn't respond to him because of my hands. And I've had arthritis in my hands. Hi, Frank. I've had arthritis in my hand so bad that I've had all my joints replaced.
Oh,
and I just had one done 2 weeks ago, and my body is rejecting the pin. So I have a bad infection in my hand. I have to go tomorrow for an emergency appointment. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but my
we see it. Yeah, we see it.
Twisted and bent, and
that's awful.
I've always been a writer. When I was in high school and everything, I love writing. I love journaling. Larry got me back into journaling. I met Larry back in August of 2019 when I lost my job because of my hands and stuff. And just seeing Larry I seen a crazy guy on YouTube doing videos with some kind of minions, and I was like, this guy is off the wall.
He's right.
What happened?
I was like, there is no way I'm watching this guy, And I got rid of him as a friend on there. And I went back, and one day he was doing a thing on journaling and stuff, and I said, boy, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I started watching, and me and Larry become good friends. Even though we got a distance between each other, we text almost every day and stuff like that, and he's helping me through health issues and other things that I'm dealing with and everything. But I want to, I take a pen and I can write a couple lines with my left hand, which is really hard.
Yeah.
But I do want to, I still have your letter, Tony, and I got a couple other, from people that I kept.
Yeah, no pressure, James. No pressure. Take care of yourself. That's the primary thing. Make sure you're okay.
Probably about another 3 months before I'm able to write again.
Right. Well, you take your time.
I don't know what's going to happen. I got pins and rods in my finger. And
well, you know what you need? You need some letters from us to give you some encouragement. How about that? Now that I know what's going on. There you go.
That sounds good.
All right. I noticed that we have Mia. Hi, Mia.
Hi.
Mia. Welcome, Mia.
Hi.
It's actually, but everyone got my name wrong. Even my swimming teacher about 40 years ago called me Mimi.
But is it actually Mia, your name?
Maya.
Maya, forgive me. Okay.
I was on, this is my third Zoom. On the 1st of October was World Postcard Day. A meeting on there, and it had the the actor Samuel West. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Mhm.
A big poster. I mean, he's actually sort of really, really loves sort of letters and postcards and that. So yeah, this is one. And then afterwards, there was another thing in Washington DC. I joined. I gate crashed that in Wales, on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. So I've actually missed spoken conversation. I mean, normally, I'm out in a cafe writing letters.
Wonderful.
Know me as the letter lady. So, but I'm just writing a letter now. It's going to. Where's it going?
Oh, real quick, if you don't mind, I was reading on Facebook earlier that Frank put on Facebook that we lost a giant in the Pen Society. Bob Johnson, the founder of the Washington, D.C. Pen Show, passed away. And just want to send our condolences to his family and our prayers out to his family. That's a big loss. Anytime we lose one of our own, you know, that's always a hit for us. It's a reminder, it's a wake-up call. You never know which one of us could do it. So, you know, prayers sent out for Bob and his family.
Yeah.
Good.
Frank, you can join in, at least tell us a little bit. And Maya, I apologize, Maya, we didn't mean to cut you into your thing. We'll come back. I want to come back to that because I want to talk to you about that. But Frank, I want to ask you, I never got to go to the Super Show, the Washington, D.C. I was going to actually go this last August.
Okay.
When the thing hit. I never got to meet him. Is he the one that was kind of a polarizing figure as far as some of the vendors that was just a unique individual?
Yeah, but he was okay. He was good.
Yeah.
He started the show. You know, he ran it. This coming year in 2021 will be the 30th running. He had run it. I did meet the sister Barbara and her son, the nephew. I met them this past year, last year, and into this year. They were helping him over the last year. He had suffered a first heart attack about a year or two ago, and he needed help running on his own anymore. And she was helping him run it, and it seemed to go pretty good. But he's okay. He was he was a good personality. You just had to understand and be patient, you know. And yeah, and she helped him a lot this past year, and that helped things go more smoothly. And from what I understand, from what I saw in the email that I got, he passed about a month ago peacefully in his sleep. Apparently, he had another heart attack and passed.
Oh.
She had waited. I guess they had adjustments to do. They were grieving, so she finally let everybody know this week it happened. And then, of course, she was announcing that we do intend to have the DC show next August. And the way things are going, that could very well be the first show going back, because so far it doesn't look good for the first quarter coming up. You know, I already know the Philly show isn't running, and that doesn't bode well for the other East Coast shows, you know, in the Mid-Atlantic area, you know. So that would be, you know, Philly, Baltimore, and New York, Long Island, the first quarter, you know, besides LA, you know, who knows if that will happen too. So that brings us into the spring, you know, with Atlanta and St. Louis and Miami and then DC, you know.
Frank, I've noticed on YouTube there's been some pen shows going on in Italy, Florence.
Yeah.
They had that what's his name? Osgood. I can't remember his name.
Osman.
He's done some videos from those pen shows. They've been, you know, very small, which is just the opposite of ours. But so that gives you hope that maybe.
Yeah, I think the size helps a lot. I think they have different, you know, restrictions there and did the things differently, and the smaller show, and maybe they can run. Sure. You know, I heard that the Dallas show went very well for Larry Drumgoole. You know, I heard that went well. You know, it was him and vendors and a couple other people. I heard that went well because that was small. It was really just him, support from the vendors and all. That was encouraging, So maybe other people do something like that. My wheels are turning. I've got some ideas and I've got some things going on. I'm going to be running my mall spot in November and December. I've basically yet to announce that, but I'll be doing that. I'm going to be doing that one weekend. I'm going to be at my mall pop-up spot on Black Friday weekend. And then probably I'll be there the weekend before Christmas. There's a neighborhood mall that has a space that they use for pop-up shops for small businesses like me, and they can rent it by the weekend. Right. So it's 1,200 square feet. It's actually a very large store, and it's actually larger than the one I was in last year. And I'll be there a couple times, and we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it's like, and then maybe I'll continue that maybe monthly, and then next year we'll see how it goes.
Hey Frank, for Dolores, I don't know about Mavis or Dolores or Dan. For those of you that and Maya, for those of you that do not know Frank, are there any of you that don't know what Frank does or who he's got a store?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm Federalist Pens and Paper. Yeah.
Yeah. And
how about that other young man right there? You got to watch that one.
Mark,
that's
right
there. Yeah.
Frank's brother Mark.
Right there.
It's on the bottom.
Yeah.
He'll
sneak up on you. He'll sneak up on you. And bam!
He'll sneak up. Hey, one of the things I want to bring up for Mark and Frank is that as letter writers, we all enjoy the parts that go into letter writing, which are the pens and the ink and the paper. And there's no one that I know of that cares more about this hobby than Frank and Mark. They if you're needing any kind of good paper to write your letters with, and at this point, I don't care what, I love writing on good paper. Right? At this point, I spend a lot of money on pens. I spend a lot of money on ink. I want to at least write on some good paper. And if you haven't, and I'm kind of curious, what kind of paper do you all like to use to write your letters with?
Good stuff right here.
I enjoy like a lot of.
Let me give this free plug to Frank.
Okay.
That's gonna be it. I purchased this endless notebook, and for years I've been looking for a notebook that it's going to work for me. I've tried all different kinds. I've got notebooks at the kazoozie up there, and I've tried different ones and different setups and planners, like you name it. But this finally is the paper I like, and it has everything I need. So what I'm doing now, all my reviews and my writing samples, everything goes in this one book. So when I run out of this book, then I have to order another book. So
the Endless, what's it called? The Endless Journal? What's it called?
Yeah, it's the Endless brand. It's the Endless brand recorder journal. It is Tomoe River paper. It's 68 gram.
68 grams. Yeah.
It's the thicker Tomoe River paper. It comes in all 4 grids. It can come lined, squared, dotted, blank, ruled. All 4 lines, they call them. And it comes in different colors too. It comes in black, green, red, and blue. And it's on my site. It's under, I have it under Tomoe River paper. I have it under Endless. And of course, I have it under paper. So it's one of the, go ahead. Get Tony.
How many pages?
That is, I believe, 200.
Wow.
250. 187.
187. Okay.
And it holds the colors real well.
Yeah.
No bleed through. It does really well, and it actually shows that true color of the ink, which I really like. So, a good paper, good quality. So I'm pleased with it.
Hey Dan, what kind of paper was that you were holding up?
Well, it's the first one I've just tried. I'm brand new at this.
Clairefontaine.
Clairefontaine, yeah. Triumph. Yeah.
It's a Triumph, Clairefontaine.
Yep. Maya's got it as well.
And I just found that the pen, I didn't get any lines. And of course there's an issue there. But man, it just feels like the ink's just pouring off on that page. It just feels like butter. I love it.
Dan, is there not a guide sheet that came with that?
There was, and just one single piece of lined paper.
Yeah.
You know, instead of being underneath where you could like fold it up and put it underneath the next page, it's just one page on the top. So you have to tear it off and then slide it under every page after that.
Right.
And it kind of hangs out and you can see it, you know, hanging out.
Mhm.
It's meant to be a blotter as well as a guide.
This stuff.
If I can say something real quick, it may not have to do with letters, but people have asked me this question many times of who do I buy my pens from? Well, for me, I'm real selective who I buy, but I try to spread the love to as many as I can. My first go-to guy is, I hate to say it, oh my gosh, it's him. Oh God, it's Franco. Yeah. Now, if Franco doesn't have it, what I need to do, and he gets chapped at me, Frank, do you carry this pen? No, I told you I carry. Yeah. You know, okay. So okay, that means that I can go ahead and go somewhere else. So, you know, there's Anderson pens that I'll go to, and Pinchuleo goes by pens, but basically those are the four people.
He's waving at you.
So there. So if you need anything,
He was waving at you.
don't get a hold of Frank's brother. Oh, God.
Hey, Larry, you are absolutely right. The other day, I wanted to find out about a Lamy gold nib, and I wanted to find out about a new nib for my Esterbrook that I got from Frank.
Yeah.
Steve, that I bought from him. And he had to come back and say, you know, give me a little bit. I'll be right back with you. And within 30 minutes, Frank was back and giving me the information that I needed. I mean, Frank was right. He's always helped me when I've asked questions. It might seem like a stupid question to me, but Frank always comes back and helps
Well, we've had a couple of people. Mavis, was that Carmen or?
That was Diana.
Diana. Oh, wonderful. Another wonderful.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hey, real quick, let's everybody give your name. We'll start with Tony. Give your last name.
Tony Restici. I'm Tony Restici. Dan?
Restici, and I call him Rustic. It's Restici. I'm horrible on name. I'm Larry. And
Dan Roseberry.
Where are you from? I guess I'm from Kansas City.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Girard, Illinois, which is right south, just above St. Louis, about an hour.
Not too far from me. Dolores?
I'm from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, digging it, feeling it.
James?
My last name is Chesney, and I'm from Romulus, Michigan, right by the airport, right by Metro Airport, the big airport in Michigan.
Wow, nice. Norm?
Hi. Yeah, Norm Morris from Melbourne, Australia.
Yo,
what time is it right now, Norm? What time is it?
5 to 11 in the morning.
Oh boy.
15 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Mavis, I know where you live, Mavis, but you might tell if you want.
Yeah.
I'm in Portland, Oregon. Carmen and Diana and Alexandra. And I have a question. So I was watching a YouTube video where you and Larry were talking, and you talked about somebody who made pins or sold pins in Dallas.
Yeah, Jim Hines.
Jim Hines, yeah.
I'm going there the first part of November, and I would like to check him out.
And
there you go, Larry.
Tell him that Larry sent you, because you might get a discount.
Well, Larry, we got to get Mavis Jim's information, maybe his website or contact information.
Mavis, Mr. Nance will give you the website.
Let me put it into the chat.
He's going to put it in the chat. Now, real quick, okay, then let's go to the next gentleman.
That'd be Mark.
Yes, I'm Mark Limper. I'm Frank's brother, and I'm in Voorhees, outside Voorhees, New Jersey.
Where you at? Germany?
Voorhees, New Jersey.
You're breaking up, buddy.
That's okay.
Voorhees, New Jersey.
Ah, thank you.
There you go.
All right, now let's talk to this young man over here.
Frank?
Yeah.
So I'm Frank Limper, a.k.a. Frank Xavier, Frankie X, Federalist Frank.
A lot of names.
Form or what decade.
Oh,
I've
Lord.
been in the hobby a long time. It was different.
I'm going to be an AKA too.
Different forums on things like that. Of course, now selling pens, retailer. Still celebrated 5 years. Still a hobbyist at heart. I still consider this a hobby. I still have a lot of fun with it. I'm in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Mark and I are both just outside. We're just east of Philadelphia. So we're in South Jersey. And
Beautiful.
we're about 12 miles apart from each other, and we're about 15 miles east of the city.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Maya?
Beautiful. Maya?
I am in Carnarvon. It's in Wales. We've got a castle. It's where Prince Charles had his crowning as the Prince of Wales. Yes, and it's in the Welsh area. I'm actually from London.
Rock on.
But
To the Beatles?
That's Liverpool.
Liverpool.
That's
that's
close
Liverpool.
enough.
Some more place in America, isn't it? So
Yeah. Maya, we just want to listen to you talk all night because I love
What
the accent.
time is it there? What time is it, Maya?
and 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
1 a.m. We got 4 there and 1 there. Okay.
Now, Lannis is one of my good pen pals. Lannis, it's good to see you.
Hey, thought I would tune in on, just got home from work, so thought I would just tune in and see what's going on.
Oh,
I'm from Ontario, Canada.
Oh,
beautiful. Beautiful.
what time is it there, Landis? What time do you got?
It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay.
That's an
Well,
hour.
Hey, let me tell y'all guys what's going on right
Yeah,
now.
we got Marie still over here.
Oh, I apologize, Marie.
Can you hear us, Marie?
Marie?
Marie has her camera turned off.
Marie, are you there behind the camera?
Maybe on the phone.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, okay.
That could be.
Well, let me go ahead and share this real quick. What I'm working on right now, something brand new. It's going to be the same thing we're doing now, but I'm going to work with a gentleman that's in the Netherlands. We're going to try to put what we're doing now and put in the Netherlands with us. I want to try to make this really as big as I can and spread it as much as I can through the world. So, you know, what would be more cooler than to meet people from all over the world and let them talk about their passion, their love, and letters. And while we're on letters, let's take Lisa for a minute.
Yeah, real quick. Hello to Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh,
Lisa.
she's smiling. Oh, very good. So, writing letters. And if y'all have had any problems, let me know. I have a friend of mine in India. We've been writing for 6-7 years religiously. And when the pandemic hit, I sent him a letter, and then it took about a month and a half to get back, and it said that did not accept the letter. So I emailed him, and he got me back, and he said, Larry, I wouldn't do nothing like that. I never received the letter. So I went to the post office, told them what happened. So they sent it again, didn't charge me. Well, it came back in a month. So what he found out was India at this time has not taken any mail from the U.S.
Wow.
So that took care of that. So from time to time, I do pin giveaways. And I can't do all these countries because they're not taking anything from the U.S. right now. And then some of them, they get their feelings hurt. And I don't mean to do that, but I hate to send a pin to somebody that won that's not going to get it.
Yeah.
See? So
You could send it to me.
all right.
She will get it, I promise you.
Then pins to everybody. All right, James, put that list out. And James big with that notebook, him and his brother Mark. But
to touch on what Larry just said, I don't know about all the rest of you that have been writing. I know Lisa writes a lot. But lately we have had we've had some problems with letters getting, like, it took. I've got a friend over in England. I've got some English pen pals. Dave Burrows, Penultimate Dave. He, you know him. His letters show up to me, and it takes about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Lisa lives outside of she lives in a place called Snellville, Georgia. And I'm sorry, I just gave away your address there, Lisa. But she, I sent you that letter. The last letter I sent to you took how long from Kansas City?
It took a month. A month exactly.
a month from Kansas City. So, yeah, I don't understand it. I think in Lannis, the last one I sent to you took maybe about that long as well, 2-3 weeks.
I don't think it was a month. I think maybe 3, but possibly under 3.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So,
know, on our last hookup, I was speaking to Eric, and Eric wanted to try some paper. Well, I sent him some Tombow River paper, but then I ordered him a Midori journal so he can test the difference between paper. And I ordered it, 2-3 weeks ago from Japan, but it hadn't got here yet. So as soon as I get that, if it ever gets here, then I'll send it to Eric, because I think he wants to do a review, the Tombow River paper versus the Midori paper. And Tony, what's your feedback on that? They're basically the same.
well, I think which one, Tomoe River and Midori, I don't think they're too much the same. Not those two.
Well,
They're
no,
both. I
it's a
like them
little-
both. Tomoe River paper is such a fine paper. It's a 52 gram.
Right.
And it's really, I think overall, I think people view that as one of the best papers to write on.
Right, but the Midori paper is not far behind it. It's not thin, but it does deliver.
I love Midori paper. I absolutely adore Midori paper. I love it. It's always worked good for me. It's odd that the paper that I can't seem to use for letter writing is one that I originally bought, just like Dan was at Triumph, that Clairefontaine. It's so, and I've got to ask you all this. It's so smooth that writing with a pen, sometimes my pen would just not, the friction wasn't enough there, and it would just stop. It would not write, and it's like too smooth.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I had Clairefontaine. I had about a couple of notepads of it, and I tried my pens on it, and it just wasn't working. I tried different inks, and it wasn't doing it. So I gave it away. So I was really disappointed in the Clairefontaine. So
it's lovely paper. It's lovely paper.
It is that.
But Frank, do you have any input on that, or maybe Lisa? Because obviously, for the pen to write, it has to create friction. Even though the ink's there, it's got to have friction.
Yeah, the Claire paper, 90
and
gram,
Rhodia.
There's and Rhodia. Yeah, they're both from the same company technically. They're both imported by the same Exaclair here in the States and all, but they're coated. They're vellum coated, and it is very smooth, and it's very ink friendly by and large. But some people do find that too smooth, and depending on how much you like feedback, that could affect your ability to write well on it.
Oh, true.
Yeah, here is a pretty good notepad. I picked this up at the Dallas Pen Show from Franklin Christoph. I do like the paper. I believe it's sugarcane paper or something.
Yeah.
And it's a good paper. I like it. It's great paper. And it doesn't cost all that kind of money. And then another notepad that I like is the Rhodia.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I may have 10 or 12 of these in different styles. I do a lot of writing when I do reviews, so I have to have it on hand. And another notebook that I really liked, I picked this up from Anderson Pens because Frank didn't carry it. So Oasis. Oasis. I had to put that out or he's going to jump on me. Oasis Light.
Oasis, that's nice. Oasis reminds me of Life paper.
And do you realize this paper, I think, is $2.99, $2.49 for this? That's a deal right there.
Yeah. But for this, for all of you that know me, that I've written letters to, that's kind of just paper. It looks like paper, but it's life paper to me. I put it up there. I mean, if I had to just choose two, I'd say Tomoe River and Life paper. Life it seems to be really good paper to write on.
Check this out now. Okay, this is one of my live journals, and here's what I do with this, and believe it or not, I track a lot of my inks in this. Now here's how I have my set up. When I do this, I like to go back years, weeks, months, and years, because I want to see how well that ink holds up to the paper. if it's going to fade, if it's going to still look the same when I put it down. There are some inks that totally change colors. They don't have that same pop. They get dull, you know. So, but this Life paper delivers. It's excellent paper to do that on. And one paper that I don't like, I mean, it's okay, but it's the fig, what is it? Baron Fig notebook. It's okay, but it bleeds through severely. So it's okay if you're using maybe a fine nib and not a wet ink. Use a more dry nib and a fine pen, and you can get by on it. So look on this side where you'll see a bleed through right there. That's bleed through. That's pretty awesome. So that's a turn off for me. You know, when I write with a notebook, I want to write it with a quality notebook. Okay. People say, well, it costs money.
Yeah.
Not that I'm Mr. Big Shot or big money pockets, but I'm picky on fountain pens, right, Frank? I'm picky on fountain pens, and I'm picky on my paper. I don't mind paying the extra money, but I want quality. And that's just me. Now, you don't have to, because everybody's different. We all have different opinions.
Everybody's different.
We all have different opinions. What I may like, you may not like. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, I got to say this much. What is that, Maya?
It's diddle. Was it diddleino or whatever? It's
Giggle?
diddle.
Diddle.
Diddle?
Doodle.
Noodle.
Doodling.
I don't know. I like to diddle every once in a while, and that's a different Zoom meeting.
Some of the time it's quite nice, especially with the finer nibs. You can get away with it. But I went overboard on these. I've got a whole shoebox of these.
Wow.
You know, God willing, if we have the pen show in Dallas next year, I don't know if Frank forgot, and I don't even know if Mark knows, but Mr. Announcer, if Frank still have us, are going to go out there and help him. He might throw us out, Mark, or might throw us out. One of us might throw us out. Get out of here, okay?
I've got a letter question for all of you.
All right.
Okay. I've got, you know, obviously I send out lots of letters. For Lisa knows, Landis knows, and Mavis knows. I probably do 40, 50 letters, 60 letters a month. Okay. I love to write.
That's great.
I also get a lot of letters back. So my question to you is this, and part of the problem, you know, our friend, we have a bastard brother named Dave Burrows in England. Lisa and I, we call him that because he calls us that. We are siblings. We're the bastard siblings. Lisa, Dave, and I, okay? We all write each other. Now, one thing he tells me, I always say, Dave, what do you do with your incoming letters? Because I've got boxes and boxes of letters. I've not thrown any of them away. And I'm torn because I don't want to get rid of them. I like going back and reading them. And I said, what about the letters you send? Because sometimes they don't make it. They don't arrive, and I never got your letter. What do you do? He says, well, I actually digitize each page and save it in a file. I'm thinking, wow. That's a lot. I mean, I don't think I've ever done that because, that's a lot of space to be able to. And plus, he's what is he? Kind of OCD. He can do all that stuff, but I can't seem to do that. What do you do with your letters that you guys get? And I'll leave that open to whoever wants to answer.
Okay, what I do, seriously, first of all, all the letters I get for the month, I put them in my filing cabinet, and at the end of the month, I transfer them. I have a box, and I'll fill the box. It's so big with maybe 2 months of letters, and then I'll get a box and I'll put them in the box, and I'll put the month and year down, and then I'll store it in the storage room. Because what I like to do on occasions is go back 2, 3, 4 years ago, open the box and see what was going on with whoever at the time. Bring back memories. It's kind of cool to read over the letters and see what you all talked about and what was going on back there. To me, that's not important. It's just not like sitting down and you're just writing all kinds of stuff and then mail it off and you're done with it. That's not my thing. I really want to know what went on back then, you know, at that year, that date, you know, and then see what the person was doing. To me, I like doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah,